What's good, Angelites? It's your boy Angelo's World. Welcome back to our world. Elvis Presley, a boy from Tupelo. I've never seen it before, but it's from it's a video from the documentary channel I found that I'll tell you guys about. So let's check it out together. Smash that like button and let's get straight to it.
In 1954, Elvis Presley was a young man driving an electrician's truck. Within 18 months, he was the most famous musician in the world. His meteoric rise began with teenage friends in Memphis at Lauderdale Courts.
These things were built by WPA workers back in the Depression.
A little smaller than what I remember. We couldn't afford to live here.
We were really lucky to get in here. We felt like it reached the promised land. You know, we had plenty of hot water, indoor toilet, electricity, a refrigerator. It was great.
Elvis came from a very poor upbringing. You think this was a pretty big step up for them?
I'm sure it was.
Oh, this is where Elvis was living when he was in high school, right?
Yeah, he was probably in the 9th, 10th grade, but towards his last year, he started dressing pretty flamboyant. You know, he still had old secondhand clothes and all that, but he started to wear them with a flair.
He knew he had something going.
Elvis, for all his hopes and dreams, needed a job.
So Elvis, was he still in Lauderdale Courts when he worked for Crown Electric?
Yes, I think he was at the beginning.
The woman who owned Crown Electric, her name was Gladys, like Elvis's mother's name. She had been warned when he was coming by to get the job. Don't take his appearances into account. He really is a good boy.
There was some long hair in that neighborhood.
Really? Was everybody wearing the sideburns?
Yeah. Actually, in my day, he was long hair, combed back with grease, and a ducktail.
Lots of it.
He always wanted to be a musician and to be wildly successful.
I got a woman way over town.
Tell me more about the triangle. What was happening there?
The Triangle was just a ball field where people played, you know. The neighborhood kids would come in and play football. There'd be a game going on almost as long as it was daylight.
There was some music happening out there?
Oh, yeah.
Elvis just used to lay up under a tree over on the east side and play his guitar when he was just jacking around. I got a woman way over town that's good to me, good to me.
When Elvis decided to make a record for his mama, there were several places he could have gone, but he went to Memphis Record Service, which is Sam Phillips.
That's where I went. I knew where Sam's was. I knew he had a record label.
Think Elvis walked from here?
Why he wouldn't?
It's easy walking distance.
Here we are, 706.
706 Union Avenue.
Ground zero for rock and roll.
There was always music here.
Yeah.
You know,
This studio was a beehive of activity.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
going,
sure.
coming.
This whole label is basically Sam, you and Marion running the
That's
whole
right.
label.
That's
That's
right.
amazing. So Elvis comes in here and he meets Marion and Sam and he does a vanity recording. And he pays $4, $3-4. And
it
then
was just he and his guitar.
Shadows make me blue.
Marion asked him one time who he sounded like. He said, I don't sound like nobody.
How I long to be with you.
Sam famously did the Prisonaires, the 5 prisoners from the Nashville State Prison, and they came down here in shackles and chains, and they cut in that studio, and they had a big hit, Just Walking in the Rain, and it was in the local paper. And a couple days later, Elvis is the first time Elvis comes in. I think it was a strategic move by Elvis.
Dreaming of your tender kiss. The songs he picked, he was thinking, I'm going to give them what I think they want, instead of what he really felt. And the material he had, too, nobody was picking it for him. He was picking what he heard on the radio, I guess. And all the time he playing this stuff that we play out there in the Triangle, which was rockabilly music, but it didn't have a name at the time. It was just jacked up country blues.
The young man made an impression, and in early July 1954, Sam Phillips called Elvis for a session with guitarist Scotty Moore and slap bassist Bill Black.
But before he started singing That's All Right, it was the slow ballads that they were doing that night.
Yeah, hours have gone by. They kind of decided to take a break. And Scotty Moore said it was kind of nervous energy. Elvis gets up and starts banging. The word is banging on the guitar. And Bill Black, who's quite a character, jumps up and goofily.
But it's a song that Elvis knew.
Yeah, it's a song
He
Elvis
knew.
But Scotty and Bill didn't. They hadn't rehearsed it.
Yeah.
They just jump in, and Sam runs out of the door.
Right, one more time now, and Scotty, don't make it too damn complicated in the middle there.
All right, let's hit it.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right for you.
Elvis changed just like that.
Yeah.
You know.
He was ready.
He was ready.
That's all right.
So, Dad,
That's all right.
let's go back to your childhood for a minute.
That's all
Sam,
right.
my grandfather's coming home with recordings of Elvis. What was the energy like? Was he excited?
I was actually listening to the acetates that my father was bringing home, you know. Not even sure that he knew exactly what he had been looking for, but he knew he'd found
He
it.
knew when he had it.
When he got that cut on That's All Right, Mama, and came home with it, he said, I think I finally found what I've been looking for. This is going to change our lives.
He was right.
He was.
All right, how about flipping the record over there? That's Son recording and doing the other side for us.
Okay.
Blue moon. Blue moon. Keep shining bright.
Well, they needed a B-side for the record, so Sam decided, okay, we'll go with the countryside.
I said blue moon, Kentucky, need to keep on shining.
He only had 3 charts back in the day.
You
right?
had 3 charts. You had pop, rhythm and blues, and country. And you had to be in one of those categories or you weren't going to get played.
Fine, man. Hell, that's different. That's a pop song now, isn't it, about?
Elvis's first single was released on July 19th, 1954.
When that record came on, you turn that radio up and loud as it go, man. We'd be out here at the fairground swimming pool. They'd come on, you turn it up, and when the other records come on, you turn it back down.
Yeah.
But when Elvis came on, you crank it up as loud as you could get it, man.
You couldn't go anywhere that you couldn't hear the song.
Exactly. You could ride down Main Street with the windows down in your car. That's all right, Mama. I mean, that's all the people were talking about.
2 weeks after the first single's release, Elvis was added to a show starring popular country singer Slim Whitman at the Overton Park Shell.
So Elvis plays here at the Shell, his first big show. He's got a citywide hit, That's All Right, Mama, Blue Moon of Kentucky on the flip side. Do you think that's the thing, one of the things that may have helped make that song a hit, him playing in front of that audience?
I think it gave it a great boost because you have some people listen to the radio and then other people would come to an outdoor concert, not necessarily the same people.
He was shaking that leg. He wasn't trying to do anything. He was kind of like keeping time with the beat. He was shaking his whole leg. I know he had said sometime that he noticed that when he moved his leg like that,
That he was getting a reaction out of the women.
Scotty said he was so nervous that his legs were just shaking. That's what Scotty Moore said.
What do you imagine it was like out here when Elvis played the first time?
Pandemonium, I imagine.
You think so?
Yeah. People just all over around him and shouting and screaming. And the audience started squealing, and I left the stage, and they kept calling me back. And I didn't know what I was doing that they liked. And my manager told me, he said, go back out there and do just what you've been doing. So I asked him, what have I been doing? And he said, you've been shaking all over. He said, your legs have been shaking with the music, and your eyes twitching, your shoulders twitching, and everything. And so I stuck with it, and I've been doing it ever since.
I saw him out at the Eagle's Nest out at Lamar and Winchester. It was just like a bear joint, I'd call it. This was the second gig they had ever since the beginning of the world. This was the second gig.
Number 2, right. How many songs did they play?
Well, they played more than 2, but I mean that was only one record
Only
they
record,
had.
Yeah.
We could not wait for his next record. We were in great anticipation of what's going to next release, man. Let's hear some more of this guy.
In a year and a a half at Sun Records, Elvis shot to stardom.
I think Mystery Train, I think that is for me, the pinnacle of Sam, of Elvis, but also sonically. I mean, that record really is incredible.
Well, Sam always said it had the greatest vamp of any record.
So when you hear those records, there's no drums, there's that slapping bass. It's more of a slap than you hear the note almost.
I don't know how those guys did that. That would wear me.
I don't either. I don't either.
There's a couple songs, When It Rains It Really Pours, they did bring in a drummer for Elvis.
When it rains, it really pours.
Scotty Moore, come over here and say howdy.
Howdy. They've all been asking about the drummer that we had up there last time, DJ Fontana. He's a regular member of our band now.
To me, what changed music forever was when drums and guitars collided and put the drums where you could actually hear them. That country people didn't have. They had guitars but didn't have drums. When they put the two together, every rock and roll band from that point on,
And put it up in the mix, too.
When LA, they wanted to have that band like Elvis. The Beatles, the Stones, everybody, drums and guitar. That's what changed music, and it hadn't changed since.
When it rains, it really pours.
Recently, a young fella joined the Louisiana Hayride down in Shreveport.
Elvis hit the road and hit the airwaves.
This is the new look in Western music. No, you couldn't call it hillbilly exactly. I guess we'll have to call it sort of bop-type Western. Young fella from Memphis, Tennessee, by the name of Elvis Presley, who's coming out now.
So, the Louisiana Hayride, that was a very popular radio show at the time that Elvis eventually went on to perform on.
I listened to him every time I found out he was on the radio. The whole neighborhood did. Everybody go to a certain house that had the best radio and pick him up out of Louisiana best we could. And live the life right along with him,
Elvis, how are you this evening?
It's fine. How you, sir?
You all geared up with your band there to let us hear your songs?
Oh, baby, 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 baby.
Bill was known for getting up on the bass and clowning around and riding it. Did you worry about him at all when the fame started coming, or were you just excited to see it happen?
Well, there were some times when we heard that they got hurt. The crowd moved in and fell in the orchestra pit and different things like that. And we weren't really worried, but we thought they might be skin up a little.
Did Bill like the fame?
He loved it. If you've been building tires all your life, now you can have women screaming at you. I think you like it.
What I'm talking about. Come on back to me.
Out in the basement of the Chisca Hotel, they had a big ballroom down there, and Elvis showed up. Man, he had the purple pants, a light purple shirt, some wristbands, and if he combed his hair once, he combed it 1,000 times. And I couldn't take my eyes off him. I said, I didn't say nothing like this. He just...
His success, I think, had to do with he was so different from anybody else that was out there. And he still just did more different than anybody. But I think every show he just got, people sort of realized, boy, I've never seen anything quite like this before.
Let's play a little house so we can act like we did before. Now, baby, come back, baby, come. Well, that's because
Elvis became so popular, Sun Records had trouble keeping up.
your mama thinks you're hot. Well, just because you think you've got something.
A hit record could actually hurt the label more than help it.
Yes, and that's the reason Sam sold Elvis's contract.
So he
was in debt.
You
couldn't get the distributors to pay you.
So selling Elvis's contract really helped Sam
Well, sure.
get out of debt.
It gave him what he needed to make Sun Record Company what he wanted to make it.
Elvis opened the door for a lot of people. Billy Riley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Orbison, those guys.
I've heard my dad say one time that the studio was his laboratory. And it was kind of like Dr. Frankenstein, you could get in there and you put all these parts together, and then all of a sudden it comes to life. And you can't stop that damn thing, there it goes, and you got it.
You couldn't pull this off in Nashville. You couldn't pull it off in LA or New York. It had to be Memphis, man. Hallelujah.
People were hollering for Elvis all the time. I couldn't believe it. Man, what a change. That boy changed the world with that music.
That nobody else has got. You caused me to spend all of my money. Honey, you left me to call your old Santa Claus. Well, I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you. Cause, well, just because.
Elvis Presley, a boy from Tupelo short film. I love that. I genuinely love that. And you guys let me know what you thought about this short film. And I got another one for you guys on Friday. So just stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed this short film with me, smash that like button. Comment down below what other Elvis reactions you guys would like to see. And if you do not want to miss any other Elvis reactions I have in the way for you guys, smash that subscribe button. Turn on the post notification bell so you can be in the live premiere when my next Elvis reaction goes live. And while you're at it, go check out my very last video, my reaction to Elvis performing Great Burning Love in 1972. That video will be over here, so go check that out. And I'll see you guys on Friday. I'm out. Peace.